Okay, now we're going to start creating a new Flickr account. This is the opening screen at Flickr.com. It may look different on your computer, but this is the opening screen that I'm seeing. So we're going to click Start Free, and we're going to enter our name. First name, last name, age. I'm not going to really say my age. I don't think that is really required. We'll just say 56. And this is an email address that I use for these kind of purposes. It is, so the screen comes up and says that we have now 7 characters. This is a one-time setup. Don't worry about if it takes a long time. But the goal is to get it right the first time. So we're going to click Sign Up. And it says check your inbox. We will send a verification link to the inbox, and I will check my inbox here now. And I have a verification. You can't see that on the screen. And what I'm going to do with the incoming email is I'm going to click Confirm My Flickr account. Just click below. So my email is verified and I have an account. Very easy process. And as I say, we'll show you how to enter the settings as we go along, which you'll be able to change the password. Okay, we've done the login and set up an account. If you're looking at the paper, that was item number 1 under creating a Flickr account. Now we want to upload some photos. See the arrow at the top? It is to indicate a cloud and an arrow. So we click on that, and you'll be using this screen every time you want to upload. This is the main uploader screen. So we're going to upload photos. And on a Windows machine, if you press Control, you can just choose photos as you wish. I want a fair number of them, so these are just random photos. You can see some are need to be rotated, but we'll worry about that later. I'm going to click Open. Again, I'm on a Windows machine. And it will populate the screen with the photos. You will see them come up. You will also see titles on them. This is actually the title from the camera in most cases. You can change that. You can add a description here or later. Most every operation you can do at some future date. So in the upper right-hand corner, we're going to upload 9 photos. I typically try to not upload more than 20 photos at one time. The people ask about how long does it take to upload, and it depends on the file size, whether it's 10 meg or 1 meg, and it depends on your internet speed. As you can see, that went fairly fast, and these are fairly large photos. Okay? Now we've actually gone through items 2, 3, 4, and these are displayed. Now we want to make an album. Albums are the building block. This let's make an album screen. This is only for the beginning. You won't see this again because it isn't really needed. Camera roll also isn't needed. So as it says in the instructions, select a few and add to an album. And we're going to create a new album. We're just going to call it Class Album 1. And you got to be able to spell album. And create. So now we have an album with 3 photos. Let's create another album. Add to an album. Go to camera roll. Select some more photos. Add to album. We're going to call this Class Album 2. Okay, we have 2 albums with photos. Right now, we're not too worried about what is there and what they are and all the details. So let's look at them in a different view. Let's look at our albums. We have 2 albums. Now, as I mentioned, the basis for Flickr is albums, but what do we do with the albums? So let's make a collection. Okay, we have 2 albums. New collection, collection 1. Create it. You can write a description now or at any time in the future. Now I'm going to move this album into that collection. And they have a little thing on here called a mosaic that you can, it will automatically take the photos from the album and make a little kind of a picture. We'll see that as we go through this. Let's make another. See, it says collection 1, album 2. 1 album. Let's make another one. Let's make another one. Doesn't matter what the name of it is. See, it shows up in red. Why is it showing up in red? Well, it is saying you made a collection, but it's not really a collection until you put an album there. So let's put an album to make it happy. Remember the rules. An album must have 1 photo, and a collection must have at least 1 album. You can have any number of albums in a collection. Create a mosaic. Say OK. As you add more photos to that album that's in a collection, you may want to update that. Now let's go back to PhotoStream. PhotoStream is the way that we typically start at the beginning. And we want to look at our collections that we made, so we click on Album, View My Collections. Have 1 album, have 1 album. Let's do something a little more advanced. If we go, and this is the main path that you'll be making albums and collections in the future. Click on New Collection. So you can also make an album. You can make an album there. Let's make another album. Okay. Now it's saying I can't do anything. Why can't I do anything? Why, class, can't I save that album? That's right. It takes at least one photo. Now it's save. You notice this is a different screen that we've seen before. This is your common screen. This is called a photo stream at the bottom, where all your uploaded photos reside. I have 6,000 photos in this area. Very, very convenient. We can move them around. We can change them. Now let's take this test and put it over to one of the collections. Collection 1 has 2 albums. How about that? Collection 1 has 1 album. What happens if we do that? Collection 2 has the same album. How can that happen? How can we have the same album in 2 separate collections? Well, that's one of the beauties of Flickr. That is, you build albums as the building block. You may want to put them in different collections because the collections might have a different name. And we go back to albums, view collections. This one has 3 albums. Look at how they're stacked up. You can edit the mosaic, you can add a description, you can write words, you can put a link to a YouTube video.